Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of the ANP Women's Health and Hormones Summit. We're almost at the end, and I hope you've been enjoying the talks as much as I have. My name's Aga, and I'll be your host. I'm really pleased to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Samita Prajapati, who will be discussing the Ayurvedic approach to fertility. Dr. Samita has been practicing Ayurvedic medicine for over 22 years in plenty of countries across the globe. She's been helping her clients with a number of conditions, including infertility. She's also an internationally acknowledged speaker, educator, and author. Dr. Samita's book on pulse reading is the go-to title for international students of Ayurvedic medicine. The talk today is sponsored by Avicenna, who use the finest natural ingredients to manufacture herbal essences, essential oils, aromatic waters, creams, and lotions for professional practitioners and therapists. Today, they are offering a 15% discount on any order, and the discount code is AVI/ANP Summit 15, and I will put the discount code into the chat box, and you can also find it in the Education Hub under the title of Dr. Samita's talk. And now, with no further ado, over to Dr. Samita.
Namaste everyone, and thank you very much ANP for giving me such a privilege to give a talk on your esteemed platform. And today I will be talking about fertility. So Ayurveda starts explaining about fertility from start, like when the couple decides to get pregnant, which is called prenatal period, till the postnatal, after the delivery also, what the female should take care. So Ayurveda explains in very deep about fertility, and Ayurveda always compares fertility with a plant growing. Like, for example, I will explain you. Ayurveda says for a healthy plant to grow with a healthy fruits, it needs 4 important factors. So Ayurveda says the best 4 important factors would be sorry, the slides are not working, I think. I'll try again.
I think if you move your mouse over the presentation, there should be like a little arrow on the bottom.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's working now. So Ayurveda always compares a plant growing with a baby growing. So Ayurveda says in order to get a beautiful plant with beautiful flowers and beautiful fruits, you need especially 4 factors, which is a properly fertile land, proper seeds, which are very healthy, proper nourishing water and nutrition, and a healthy environment or a healthy fertile period. Same way, Ayurveda says for a beautiful, talented and healthy baby, you need mainly 4 things, which is called in Sanskrit, Garbha Sambhava Samagri. Means for a best child for conception, we need 4 things. It says in Sanskrit, Drivam Chaturnam Sanidhyat Garbha Syad Vidhi Purvakam Rutu Kshetra Ambu Bijanam Samagrat Ankuru Yatham. For example, I'll explain you. First thing Ayurveda says is a female needs a fertile period or rutu. Same way when you need to plant something in a winter season, when there is lots of snow, you cannot grow any plant. When there is a summer season and when there is a proper climate for that fruit, which can grow in that climate, in that land, you can nicely grow a nice tree. Same way in a female, if the periods are not good, if they are irregular, or if they come early, or if they are scanty, the fertile period is not correct. So Ayurveda says we need to adjust or we need to make the period fertile or the cycle of the female, we need to make it healthy and regular. Second, Ayurveda says kshetra. Kshetra means a place or a land. So inside the female's body, we need a healthy uterus with a healthy endometrial lining. in order to conceive a healthy baby. Then third thing Ayurveda says ambu. Ambu means water or nutrition. Once the baby is planted inside the endometrium, it needs proper supplements of the rasa dhatu and the nutrition, like a fertilizer we put in a plant. Same way, the baby also needs a proper nourishing food and nourishing plasma so that the baby can grow well. Then fourth thing Ayurveda says, we need healthy seeds. In order to make a healthy tree, you need healthy seeds. Same way, for conceiving a healthy baby, you need a healthy ovum and a healthy sperm. Now I will explain you in detail how all these things works. So first thing we take is Rutu, or a fertile period. So Ayurveda says, if you want to plan conception, your menstruation should be regular. But there are four main things which gives you problems in the menstruation. According to Ayurveda, Ayurveda says scanty periods are not good. If your period lasts, sometimes I have seen the clients whose period lasts only for half a day or 1 day, and they don't need many pads or lining for the period. Like one pad is enough for the period. That is not good sign, because those kind of people are having blood deficiency, iron deficiency, or the uterine lining is not properly well formed. That's why they are not getting the period and they are very scanty. Even we have seen the females, they don't get the period on time. Like many clients I have seen, they get period only once or twice in a year. And when they are trying to conceive, they cannot conceive because their period is not regular. They don't have a fertile period in their body. So we need to regularize that period and increase the flow of the menstruation in order to make them conceive easily. Second thing is painful period or dysmenorrhea. According to Ayurveda, when there is lots of air and space element in your uterus or in your reproductive system, then you always get painful periods. So in order to get rid of the painful periods, you need to balance your air elements by mainly avoiding raw vegetable, raw salad, then gassy foods like heavy beans or fermented food you need to avoid if you are having lots of painful period. And try to have the food which reduces the air element, like freshly cooked vegetables, khichdi, rice, vegetable soups. This will give you proper flow of period and you won't get the pain during the periods. Third thing Ayurveda says menorrhagia, or if the periods are very heavy, like you need pad every 1 or 2 hours, and then there is lots of clots in the period, it is not a good sign of fertility. You need to balance your pitta or your fire in your body. So Ayurveda says try to be more alkaline, reduce the heat from the system. If you have lots of heat or pitta element according to Ayurveda, then you may get lots of heavy period or menorrhagia. So in that case, try to have more cumin, coriander and fennel seeds, because these are very cooling spices according to us. Try to have cow ghee with your food, because cow ghee is also very cooling in nature. So this kind of female who have heavy period, they should follow pitta balancing diet according to Ayurveda. Then fourth kind of imbalance is called irregular period. Like I have seen females getting period 2 times in a month, and some females, they don't get period at all, like 4 or 5 months, they don't get period. Both is not good for the fertility. So what you should do is you should regularize the period and regularize the flow of the period to become more fertile. Then second thing Ayurveda says, the causes of these menstrual difficulties. Why do you get all these kinds of imbalances? There are thousands of reasons Ayurveda has explained in the Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, the old and ancient books. But there are some main basic causes I have just come up with. And I always explain my patients to take care of these causes. First thing is, try not to reside in very hot or cold climate. For example, if you are staying in London and it's snowing outside and it's very cold, try not to go outside too much and try to stay in a warm climate. Or if you are staying in a very hot kind of climate, try to avoid too much air conditioned at night. Try to balance the temperature in the room. That will help you a lot. And also if you are staying in a very cold climate, try to have warm ginger water or try to reduce the gassy foods. That will also help you to balance the air element in your system. Then Ayurveda says too much dry, cloudy weather, then suppression of natural urges like sneezing. And sometimes, we have seen the females, they suppress their urge of urination. When they are going out, they don't find proper bathroom or toilet and they don't go to pass the urination. That is not good practice according to Ayurveda, because that will again aggravate the infections or the heat inside your reproductive system. So try to, release the urges whenever you have any kind of natural urges like passing of stool or urine or sneezing or coughing. Even during the coitus, try to avoid all this suppression of urges. Then excessive traveling. You won't believe, I have seen so many air hostesses. They come to me for the fertility treatment or polycystic ovarian disease or fibroid or endometriosis or adenomyosis. And when I found out the reason in Ayurveda textbook, I found the main reason for them is excessive traveling. When a female is traveling excessively, there is lots of air element imbalance in their system, and air will cause the aging very fast, and the hormones will become out of balance very easily. So if you are traveling excessively, try to balance your routine as much as you can if you want to conceive a healthy baby. Then trauma. I have seen so many females in my practice. Because of the mental trauma, they get problems with their periods or menstruation or fertility. One example I'll share with you. I had a female she was only 32 years. She came to me, suddenly her period stopped. She used to have very regular periods since she started menstruation, and suddenly her period stopped. When she came to me, I saw her pulse and I asked her, was there any mental trauma when your period stopped? She said, yes. I'm coming from a very poor background, and when I got married, my husband was very abusive, and I was in a very abusive relationship, and I was totally dependent on my husband. But my father was very poor, but still he was trying to help me out as much as I can. And I was under the process of getting divorced, and suddenly my father died because of the heart attack. And I was so shocked because of that mental trauma. From next month, I never had my periods since 1 or 2 years. She never had her periods. So Ayurveda explains mental trauma is the biggest thing which will give you difficulty in the menstruation. So try to balance your mental status, try to remain more healthy, and do more yoga and meditation if you are planning for pregnancy. Ayurveda says you need at least 3 months before trying to get pregnant. So in advance, before 3 months, try to improve your diet and lifestyle according to Ayurveda. So mainly Ayurveda says in diet, try to eat more nourishing, easily lightly cooked food, and try to eat local and seasonal food, whatever you get. But try not to eat too much frozen or fermented or microwaved food, because it will affect the quality of your eggs. It takes 3 months for a proper healthy egg to be formed. So for 3 months, if you are doing proper nourishing diet, healthy diet, then the eggs will be very good quality and good quantity. So try to do this diet, as well as reduce the excessive salt. If you are eating lots of salt, you will have lots of water retention, which is not good for the fertility. Ayurveda always says try to use more rock salt or pink salt, because they are very good in good nutrition and good for fertility. So try to change your salt and try to change the diet at least minimum 3 months before the conception. Then there is a very beautiful home remedy I always explain to all my clients all over the world. Wherever I go, to London, Europe, Africa, America, India, everywhere, most of my clients are following this remedy, and I have given it a name, energy drink. You won't believe, I have seen so many clients, when they are eating food, after the food, they just eat like so much of multivitamins, vitamin A, B, C, D, you name it, and they're just popping up the vitamins. But Ayurveda says you should improve your metabolism in such a way so that you should be able to absorb those vitamins from the food itself, and you won't need anything extra from outside. So this is the home remedy. If you do every day, believe me, not only for the fertility or pregnancy, in general, if you are having small back pain or weakness or hair fall issues or skin glow you want, or you want full of energy, this is the best remedy I advise to everyone. So try to soak this at least minimum for 2-3 hours, throw the water, then again you can add fresh water, keep it overnight, or you can just churn it that time with fresh water or warm milk and just have it along with your breakfast. Within 3 to 4 months, you will start feeling so much difference in your health. Believe me, I have seen this miraculous result, even in fertility cases. I give this energy drink to all the females who want to conceive, as well as who are already pregnant, to improve the baby's growth, and also for themselves to not get depleted of calcium and iron and minerals and all those things. So this is the best thing you can do. Even for regularizing your period or menstruation, this is the best home remedy anyone can do. Then for amenorrhea, for the females who don't get period at all, or who get periods after 3 months or 4 months like that, the best home remedies are this, like black sesame seeds, jaggery. According to Ayurveda, they are warming in nature. And main thing, they will open up the channels. Like sometimes what happens, because of the mucus or some reasons, the tubes are blocked or there is some block in the circulation. This is the best home remedy which will digest the block or mucus from the reproductive system, and it will open up all the channels. If you are having amenorrhea or if the periods are late or scanty, this is the best home remedy anyone can do. Then painful periods. When the periods are very, very painful, according to Ayurveda, the main reason is excess of vata or air element and channels block or the mucus in the circulation. So this remedy will help you to get rid of the mucus as well as get rid of excess of air which is trapped inside the reproductive system, and open up the channels so that the period is very easy to flow and you won't get any periods problem like pain in the period or discomfort or back pain or cramps. All these problems will slowly go away. Then heavy bleeding. Like I've seen so many females, like they're just sitting there and they're bleeding. They just get up from the bed and they start to bleed. This is not at all a good sign for fertility. It means you have excess of heat in your body, or maybe fibroid or polycystic ovary or adenomyosis. This will lead into infertility as well as lots of anemia and iron loss. So try to be on cooling diet, because this is a pitta imbalance. Too much fire in your body will give you all these symptoms. So best spices according to Ayurveda for cooling or reducing pitta or heat is cumin, coriander and fennel seed. I have given it to thousands of clients, even with acidity or migraine or ulcer problems in the duodenum. This helps like magic. So try to drink cumin, coriander and fennel seed water regularly 3 months before trying to conceive, and the heat will be much less. The flow will come under control a lot. So try to do these remedies for regularizing the period. Then there are some very beautiful herbs in Ayurveda. I have my own supplements which I made in the form of extract, and which is available all over, and it's all export supply. Tried on many thousands of couple and with excellent result in fertility. And this is a combination of certain plants like Ashoka, Brahmi, Jatamansi, Chandraprabha. All these things help to enhance the reproductive system, improve the quality and quantity of egg and ovum and the sperm. Also, it helps to balance the air and fire element inside the reproductive system. It helps your uterine lining to get acceptable for the embryo. So there are certain females, when they conceive after certain months, they get miscarriage. And according to Ayurveda, the main reason is endometrium is not grown properly, the thickness is not good, or there is lots of heat or toxins in the uterus. So this supplement will help to get rid of the toxins and heat. You won't believe, I have seen so many couples in my practice. They come to me, I see their pulse, I see the reports, everything is normal. Even the gynecologists, they are not able to find out the reason why they cannot conceive. Everything is normal, but they cannot conceive for 10 years, 15 years of marriage, 12 years of trying to get pregnant. They don't conceive. But when I see the pulse or when I ask them the questions, I realize that there is lots of heat in the blood or heat in the system. According to Ayurveda, we believe that the sperm and ovum, they both need a cool environment inside the uterus in order to stay longer. Like you must be knowing, sperm can survive for minimum 3 to 5 days inside the uterus, and a ovum can survive for 24 to 48 hours inside the uterus if it is healthy. But when you have lots of pitta or fire or toxins in the uterus or in the system, then instead of surviving for 5 days inside the uterus, the sperm may die within 1 or 2 hours. And even the ovum, after releasing, it will die very soon, within 2-3 hours. So in a month, a couple is getting only 2 or 3 hours to get conception. And they cannot conceive for so many years without any reason of infertility. And when I see them, I give them cooling herbs, detoxifying supplements, and improving the fertility. They conceive. Many couple, they conceive within 1 month. Some couple conceive, majority of the couple, they conceive in 3-4 months. If the reports are normal, still they are not able to conceive. Just with the supplement and with Ayurvedic diet, they conceive very easily. So this is the concept about Ayurveda for conception. Then Ayurveda says certain lifestyle during menstruation you need to follow, which nowadays we are not following at all. That is the reason the infertility rates are increasing a lot. First thing, in Indian tradition also, as well as Ayurveda, from thousands of years, it is advised to take rest when you are menstruating. But nowadays, if you see, the females go to gym, they do heavy weightlifting, they do so much exercises when they are menstruating, which is not good according to Ayurveda, because Ayurveda says it's a natural cleaning process of your body. Your body is detoxifying naturally. And if you are doing disturbances in the body, then the natural process of detoxifying will be disturbed. And then you will get problems with fertility. You won't believe, when in my childhood, I always remember my mother, my grandmother, even me, when we used to get periods, we are not allowed to go inside the kitchen. Not even we are not allowed to do any work inside the home. You are given a separate room where nobody will disturb you. And continuously for 4 days, you have to stay in that room. You will get your food. Same way like how you are quarantining corona. It is like a quarantine every month for a female. But believe me, it was a good quarantine for every female, for easily conceiving and for not having any menstruation problem. And that time I never heard in my practice female having menopausal syndrome or hot flushes or fibroids. It started coming just now. Since 20 years, I've started seeing cases increasing because we are not following our tradition. And believe me, whatever our grandparents were doing, they were right. And Ayurveda says, whatever the tradition says, it is always true. If you follow the tradition, you won't have any problem. So Ayurveda is 5,000 years old science. And you won't believe, it is coming as it is, like 5,000 years old. In Ayurvedic textbook, it was written about the infectious diseases which are going to come, like corona, tuberculosis, then about fibroid, cyst, endometriosis. Each and everything is explained in detail about fertility, about any problem, you name it, and it's explained in Ayurveda. Excuse me. So taking rest is very important during menstruation. Second thing Ayurveda says, try to eat freshly cooked food. I think you must be knowing about khichdi. It's a combination of rice and mung beans. It is the best thing to digest. So try to look for khichdi recipes online. And khichdi is the best thing according to Ayurveda to balance the air, water, fire and earth element. So whatever is out of balance will come under balance if you are eating this kind of food and if you are following this lifestyle during menstruation, and your menstruation will become healthy, your fertility will be great. Then Ayurveda says try to avoid citric and fermented food if you want to conceive, because as I explained you, if you have lots of heat in your system, it will be difficult for you to conceive. So try to make your system more alkaline and try to avoid all this citric and fermented food minimum 3 hours before conception until you deliver a baby. Then Ayurveda simply explains even about pre and postnatal care both. So Ayurveda says a woman is born 3 times. First at the time of birth, second when she is getting married, and third at her first delivery. It is so different and changing process for a female. It's like a third birth for a female. So we need to prepare ourselves for that third birth. And for that, Ayurveda says what kind of diet you should eat before trying to conceive, so that your fertility journey is very easy and your baby is very healthy and even you are healthy. Because after delivering a baby, I have seen so many females suffering like anything. Like they were craving for having baby for so long. And once the baby is born, their energy is gone, their back is paining, they're having severe anemia. They are not able to breastfeed the baby because they are not getting the lactation. So if you want to avoid all these complications, Ayurveda says, try to follow this diet for conception, very easy to digest and best diet to conceive. I have given it to thousands of couples and it helps them to conceive like anything. Then Ayurveda says there is a ghee. You know about ghee? Ghee is a clarified butter from where all the toxins and impurities are removed. So there is a best ghee called Phalagrut according to Ayurveda. Phala means fruit. So this is the grut or ghee which will give you a nice sperm and ovum. So try to have Phalagrut. Even this is very good for during the pregnancy and even for the growth of a healthy baby. So try to have 1 teaspoonful of Phalagrut every day in the morning with warm water or warm milk. This is the best remedy for conception. And even during the pregnancy till delivery, you can continue this ghee regularly in the morning. Then Ayurveda says before conception, try to wear light colored clothes. Why? Again, to reduce the heat element from your system. So if you wear like cream colored or white color or light colored cloth, it will enhance your spirituality, your sattvic mind, and the baby born will be also very calm and not very, hyperactive or angry kind of baby, but he will be like very calm and stable kind of and very intelligent baby. So try to also visualize the baby, future baby, how you want that baby to be. Then for improving the sperm and ovum quality, Ayurveda says there are certain foods which you should eat, which will enhance the quality and quantity of the sperm and ovum, like sesame seeds. Try to eat 1 teaspoonful sesame seeds every morning or with the food anytime. Also do warm sesame oil massage with your own hand all over the body before taking shower or bath. At least start 3 months before conception. If you cannot do it every day, at least do 2 times a week whenever you are on off or anything, off day or you are having holiday. Try to do warm sesame oil massage. Then black gram dal. Black gram pulse is very good for improving sperm and ovum. Then there are certain things females, once they conceive, they need to avoid, like late night sleep, smoking, alcohol, Then too much citric food, again, like yogurt or pineapple or tomatoes, try to reduce as much as possible, because this will again increase the heat and there will be chances of miscarriages or abortions. And try to not suppress your natural urges, like I told you. Try to avoid lifting weights and all. Try to do more meditation, then yoga, then improve the relationship. Have a good relationship, good warmth between husband and wife. This will also improve the baby growth. Yoga and meditation is always good during the pregnancy, so try to do that as much as you can. Relax yourself, keep your life stress free as much as you can. Read positive literature. Like according to our custom, we always read Ramayana. It's an old ancient scripture about our religion and our God. So whatever religion or God you believe, you should read those scriptures when you are pregnant. What happens, the child is hearing whatever you are listening or whatever you are seeing. All these things will give a good sanskar in Ayurveda, we say, or impression in the mind of a child, and the child will also become like that. So try to read a positive literature. Try to listen to a nice and calming music or spiritual talks or mantras. That will also enhance the baby's mental qualities and will make the baby very intelligent and sharp. Then in Ayurveda, there is a something called Masanumasic Garbha Vruddhi Prayog, means monthly what you need to do for a better growth of a fetus. Ayurveda says on first and second month of pregnancy, try to take 3 to 5 teaspoonful ghee in a day. Ghee is a clarified butter, as I told you. Then second thing, try to have white pumpkin juice, or in London you may say English marrow. The picture is given there. So make a juice in a blender. You can put little bit cardamom if you like the taste. And if you don't like the taste, you want it more sweet, you can always put rock sugar or brown sugar in it, and enjoy this every day, once in a day, at least 1 glass. This is the best remedy for baby's brain development and also skin. Then from third and fourth day, continue the first 2 remedy and add the energy drink, which I explained you previously. Then try to have 20 black raisins. Black raisins are a good source of hemoglobin and iron, because in third and fourth month, the female will require more hemoglobin and more iron. So this is the best remedy to do. Also try to have more green leafy vegetable, beetroots, spinach. All these things will enhance the hemoglobin and iron level and improve the blood circulation to the growth of a baby, and also nourish the placenta. Then 5th and 6th months, there is a tendency of starting to have water retention in the body. So Ayurveda says try to reduce the water retention or balance it by having barley water, because Ayurveda says jav or barley is the best thing to get rid of the excess of fluid or the water from your system. And also green coconut water is very helpful for the baby's skin and baby's growth, and it has a good nutrition inside it. So start having green coconut water, and again continue with the pumpkin juice, which I explained you earlier. Then 7th and 8th month, mostly you start developing the stretch mark on the abdomen and the breast. So try to do the massages on your abdomen or breast or wherever you feel that you are developing stretch marks. So just apply warm sesame oil or almond oil slowly on the abdomen properly, and then leave it overnight and take shower in the morning. This will help you to reduce the stretch marks and also improve the flexibility of the uterus, which you require during the labor. Then afternoon nap is always good from 7th and 8th month. Now Ayurveda says the factors which are responsible for normal delivery, mainly for normal deliveries, Ayurveda says you need a proper flow of vata or the air element or apan vayu. When the air is going in the reverse direction, like instead of going down, when the air starts to go up, there is a problem in normal delivery. So they have to do cesarean section, or the baby cannot turn the head down and the baby is in breech position or in certain difficult position where they cannot come out. and then they need cesarean section. So if you want to prevent all those things, try to balance the vata and or the air and bring it into proper direction. So there are certain simple Ayurvedic remedies. It says nourishment, properly nourishment, like whatever diet I explained you earlier, along with the oiling of the abdomen is very important for getting a proper flow of air downwards. Then always do a pichu. You must be knowing about tampoons. So just take a normal tampon from a medical store and soak it in a warm sesame oil and squeeze it, and then you can put it inside. Keep it overnight, at least minimum 1 week before conception. This will help to lubricate the system inside and balance the air element. And there will be a good chances that the flow of fetus will be very normal and you may have normal delivery. Chances of normal delivery will be very high. Then there are certain supplements which I always advise to all my females who are pregnant, and they take them, and there are many females where the doctors have told them that there are no chances of having a normal delivery. You will have to go for cesarean section, but they delivered normal. Even there are certain females who had a first history of cesarean section, and always they think that second will be also LSCS. But after following all these things, they got a normal delivery. So for normal delivery, these are the factors in the remedies. So you can do certain home remedies in the 9th month to balance again the vata element. First thing is gum acacia. Gum acacia is a rich source of iron and nutrition, and there are so many healthy things which will help the uterus for the proper baby's direction and the flow of the baby coming out. So try to use gum acacia, then dill seed. These are the very good remedy. And the best remedy I've seen in my practice is taking castor oil at night. Just a small teaspoonful of castor oil at night with warm water will help a proper contractions in the uterus and a proper delivery. And from the ancient India, ancient times, like I have seen so many of my relatives or friends, before the contraction starts, at least 2 to 3 days before expected date of delivery, they start the castor oil. And they get proper contraction and they get normal delivery. So castor oil works like magic in the case of getting proper normal delivery. Then in a delivery process, you need lots of calcium and iron because lots of blood is lost. That's why I try to do the energy drink which I explained you. Have lots of coriander leaf because coriander leaf is also a rich source of iron and calcium. Also, you can call it as cilantro. In America, we call it as cilantro, and in India, we call coriander leaf. So you can make a juice of coriander leaf and just have it, or use sparingly in your food whenever you're cooking vegetables and dal. You can use coriander leaf. Then beetroot or red grape juice is also very good for iron and hemoglobin. And there are certain beautiful supplements which I have, which help for proper nourishing calcium and iron, which is required during the process of labor. Then once the baby is born, again, the channels are very open. So Ayurveda says the air element will get absorbed inside the vagina very easily. It spreads inside the uterus and then it can spread all over your body. Also through the ears, like in India, as soon as the baby is delivered, they put cotton inside the ears. They cover themselves with a warm blanket and they try not to go inside the air condition or not to go outside because their body will get trapped with lots of air and they may bloat very easily or get arthritis in future. So we always give them warm oil massages, then warm steams with herbal oils and herbal plants to the baby, to the female who has delivered a baby. Then always put warm sesame oil inside the ears because ear can attract lots of air. And if you put warm sesame oil, it will stop the air entering too much inside the body. Then warm oil massage. Then tying the abdomen is very important according to our Ayurvedic custom. So take a cotton big scarf or something and tie your abdomen tightly with a big safety pin and properly, safely guard it so that you don't get any hurt or anything. So that will also help you to balance the expanded uterus and to bring down the size of your abdomen easily. Then also food is very important after delivery. So try to have lots of cooked vegetable, ghee, khichdi, sesame oil, and try to avoid the air increasing food like frozen and fermented and microwave foods are not good after the delivery, and try to take rest at least for 42 days after you deliver a baby. There are certain Ayurvedic herbs which you can make in the form of tea and drink after the delivery to get rid of the excess bloating, back pain, and water retention. These are the best remedies which you can do at home. And these herbs are also available. Some are not available, some are easily available. So you can make tea like dill seeds are very, very easily available. In Indian grocery also you can go and buy them. So this you can take for 42 days after the delivery. And there are so many babies who are born. These are some examples which I have shown you. So this is about fertility talk. If you have any questions or anything, you can always ask me on the chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samita. This was definitely a new angle on fertility treatment for us. There are a couple of questions in the Q&A box. The first one is, if a woman presents cold signs, such as bad circulation, cold hands and feet, etc., but has very heavy menstruation, would you treat the excess cold or the excess heat?
First, you should take care of the excess heat, because loss of blood will always give you excess of air. When you have too much heat, there is lots of blood loss in the period. So try to first do the cooling, and then once the heat is down, then balance the air element.
Okay, thank you. Please, can you clarify the use of Shatavari in estrogen dominant conditions, such as endometriosis? Is it possible that it can cause lesions and cysts to grow?
Shatavari?
Yes.
Shatavari help to reduce the lesions, because Shatavari is the best cooling herb. It helps to heal. It is also very healing and cooling herb. It will help you to heal the internal lining of the uterus.
So you would recommend Shatavari for endometriosis?
Definitely, yes.
Thank you. Another one, a lady who had ovarian cyst removed during her pregnancy 7 years ago has not menstruated since and cannot conceive. Please advise.
So mainly the reason is hormonal imbalance. When your hormones are out of balance, you get ovarian cyst. So you need to balance the hormones and balance the air and fire element and improve the egg quality and quantity in order to conceive. She can send me her reports and everything, and I can advise her what to do.
That's a very kind offer. Thank you. I'm sure our listener is going to grab that offer. Another question. Do you have any recommendations for acne during pregnancy?
Yes. Acne during pregnancy is again because of the hormonal changes and excess of pitta or fire element in your system. So always try to avoid citric and fermented food like tomato, yogurt, tamarind, then cheese. All these things will aggravate the acne problem. Instead of that, try to have ghee or warm milk in your food. That will help you to reduce the heat element and the acne will reduce. And also if the lady is constipated, she has to take care of the constipation, because the one of the reason for acne according to our theory is constipation.
Thank you. So the lady or the listener who was asking about the ovarian cyst removed during pregnancy is now asking, where can I send you the reports? If you send us an email at education@theanp.co.uk, we will send it over, pass it over to Dr. Samita.
Yes.
So just drop us an email. I have a couple of questions as well.
Sure, go ahead.
Could you just briefly say how to recognize excess air, excess fire in a woman?
Okay. So I'll give you very simple example, common, which everyone can understand. Ayurveda explains about Pancha Mahabhut or 5-element theory. Okay. The 5 elements permutation and combination is made into 3 dosha. First is called Vata. Vata is air and space element. Pitta is fire element. And Kapha is earth and water element. For example, first is Vata, which is air and space element, which you asked me. If you have lots of air and space inside your stomach, what will happen? Tell me. You feel
bloated.
If you have yes, bloated, gassy, the stools will be dry and constipated. Same air, because air has a tendency to move up. Same air, if it goes up in the chest area, what will you feel? Suffocation, anxiety, palpitation.
Yeah.
Okay. Same air, if it goes more up in the neck area here, you get thyroid issues. When the air goes behind in the neck, you get spondylitis. Same air, when it travels up in the head area, your emotions will be very dry. You will be very hyperactive. Your mind is wavering. It's going everywhere because air cannot stay at one place. So anxiety, depression, nervousness is nothing but too much air going up in the head. When the same air, if someone is having any of such symptom like gas or bloating or wavering mind or disturbed sleep or anxiety, if they are eating lots of raw vegetable, raw salad, chickpeas, heavy beans, what will happen to that air element?
Yeah, again, bloating.
It will aggravate more.
Digestive.
And then that air will go all over the body, and then it will also enter the joints, and they will start getting arthritis, joints pain, swelling in the body, difficulty in movements. So these are nothing but the air element symptoms. Same air, when it enters inside the uterus, it will block the channels of the uterus, and the period will be very painful, scanty, disturbed period. Premenstrual syndrome will be very high. Like before the period, they will get like mood swings, crying, anxiety, bloating. All these things will be too much air element inside the uterus. Do you understand about Vata now? What happens? Air element?
Yes, yeah, it's very interesting. And actually,
Yes.
what you said about thyroid is very interesting to me personally. It seems like I have to address the air element in my body.
Yes. Now, second one you asked me is fire or Pitta element according to Ayurveda. So, for example, if you have lots of fire in your stomach, what will you feel?
Burning.
Burning. So, first thing will be burning in the stomach. The stools will be very loose, diarrhea, dysentery. Then you may have piles, fissure or fistula because it's heat. Okay. Same heat, if it comes up in the chest area, you will feel acidity, or throwing up or nausea or vomiting. Same heat, when it comes up, you feel burning in the throat. Same heat, if it comes up more in the head, you get angry very easily, frustrated, then blood pressure will be high. The hair will fall. There will be dandruff, graying of hair. All this thing is nothing but too much heat when it goes up in the head area. Same heat, if it goes in the eyes, you get vision problem like glaucoma, cataract, watering of eyes, burning, itching in the eyes. And when this kind of people, if they eat lots of citric and fermented food and chilies and tomato and yogurt, all these things, the heat element will more aggravate. Like if there is lots of heat inside the earth, what happens?
Eruptions or
Volcano
volcanoes.
eruption. Yeah. Same way, when you have lots of heat inside your body, you get all sorts of skin problems like
Mhm.
eczema, psoriasis, pimples, pigmentation, you name it, and I will tell you. All skin diseases is
Mhm.
not excess of heat and a volcano eruption of pitta from your skin.
Mhm.
And same heat, when it enters the uterus, then it will start damaging the uterine lining. Then you start getting uneven endometrium, then fibroid, then cyst, adenomyosis, endometriosis. All this thing is nothing but excess of heat inside the uterus or the reproductive system. Is it
That's
clear?
very interesting. Yeah, it's clear and it's very interesting. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I have two questions now about ghee. The
Yes,
first one
please.
is, what is it that ghee contains that makes it so good for fertility? And the
Yes.
second one is, can you recommend something to somebody who is allergic to ghee, like it makes them vomit?
Mhm. See, Ayurveda, according to Ayurveda, if you see Ayurvedic textbook, I can explain you thousands of uses of ghee. And I have given it to so many people all over so many countries. No one got allergy from the ghee, first thing. Because when you are making the process of ghee, you are boiling the unsalted butter, and whatever impurities is there, you are filtering it and throwing it out. So whatever you are getting is the pure nectar, and it won't have any lactose or anything. So there is no lactose and intolerance with ghee. And ghee is the best cooling. In Ayurveda, we consider it as a herb. You know, it works as like taking something like some supplements. The best thing is taking ghee in the food because it is the best healing. It will improve your immune system. You will have beautiful hair, beautiful skin. Your vision will be very good. Your digestion will be good. You will have good metabolism, good lubrication in the intestine, good digestive power. And the best thing about ghee is you don't put on with ghee.
Mm-hmm.
People say, oh, if you eat fat, you will become fat. But this is not that kind of fat which will help you to gain weight. In fact, it will help you to maintain the healthy weight and maintain the good cholesterol in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Even you won't believe, according to Ayurveda, when we are doing Panchakarma treatment, you must have heard about Panchakarma. It's like complete detoxifying and rejuvenating the system. Like how we service the car, it is like servicing our body. So when doing Panchakarma treatment, we give like half a kg of ghee to a person to drink literally within 7 days.
Panchakarma.
Panchakarma. And they lose weight. They don't gain weight. After the treatment is over, they lose weight. And I have so much data. I have given it to so many clients. I do the blood test before giving them and after the treatment. And you won't believe, the cholesterol level goes down, the good cholesterol increases, and the weight reduces by 2 to 3 kilo after having ghee.
That's very interesting. I'm definitely going to read up on Panchakarma.
Yes, even for the babies, we give ghee.
Okay, thank you.
Ghee is best toning for the brain. Sanskrit, you know what is Sanskrit?
Yes.
In Sanskrit, it is a saying that Runam Krutva Ghritam Pibet. That means if you have to take loan to buy ghee, then take loan, but take ghee and drink it. If you want to live for 100 years.
That's definitely worth trying. Thank you. I have one last question for you, and it's what's your opinion on autoimmunity and recurrent miscarriages?
Yes, I have so many females. They had like 4 miscarriages, 5 miscarriages. They were not able to keep the baby inside the uterus. And when I find out, the main root cause sometimes is the parasites in the blood or some kind of viruses in the blood which don't allow the baby to survive inside the uterus. So there are certain supplements in Ayurveda which helps to get rid of those viruses and worms and improve the immune system so that the baby can survive inside the uterus for 9 months and they don't have any problem.
Thank you. Thank you. One more question came through. Dr. Samita, can you tell also about kapha aggravation, like for
Yes.
air and fire?
Yes. Kapha is a combination of earth and water.
Uh-huh.
So when there is a lots of earth and water inside your stomach, what will you feel? Again?
Constipated, I guess.
Will be very heavy. If you are eating little food also, you feel that your stomach is full. Bloated. Like some people, they get water inside the stomach because of the liver, like ascites. That is also a kapha imbalance. Same kapha, if it goes up inside the chest area, what will you have? All respiratory issues like pneumonia, bronchitis, breathlessness, asthma, bronchiectasis. All this is nothing but lots of kapha accumulation here. Same kapha, when it goes up here, then you get all sinus issues like allergic cold or sneezing or sinusitis is nothing but too much kapha imbalance over here. When the same kapha is inside the brain, your brain doesn't work properly. You feel like, lethargic, your memory is low, you feel always down, you don't like to go out or do anything. You just feel like, like a couch potato. Same kapha person, if he is eating lots of like starchy foods or deep fried foods or too much gluten like wheat or white flour or chickpea, what will happen to that kapha or mucus? It will aggravate more. So what they will have? Diabetes, because that will form one kind of mucus which will block the channels of pancreas and they start having diabetes. Then when that mucus goes inside the bloodstream, they get cholesterol, triglyceride. Same mucus, when it blocks the heart channels, they start having heart block issues or heart attack. Same mucus or kapha, when it blocks the kidneys, they get kidney failure or stone problem, gallbladder stones. All this is nothing but lots of earth and water element when they are aggravated in the body. And main thing is obesity or pitting edema. When you are pressing on your leg shin bone, you feel like your thumb is going inside and there is a big pit. That is also one symptom of too much kapha imbalance in the system. So this kind of kapha imbalance you will feel when you have lots of kapha. So those kind of people should always try to avoid too much gluten or deep fried food, which aggravates too much mucus in the system.
Thank you. Thank you. Should meat be avoided while trying to conceive?
If possible. But you can have freshwater fish because they are cooling in nature. So I always advise them to take lake fish or freshwater fish.
Thank you.
Or sometimes chicken or turkey, but not regularly.
And have you had cases with successful pregnancies when the woman had uterine fibroids? Is it imperative? Is it imperative to heal the fibroids before conceiving?
Yes. Ayurveda has very good herbs like Kanchanar Gugul, Triphala Gugul, Cyclono, which are very good for shrinking the size of the fibroid. And I have seen many cases, they conceived very easily, delivered babies very easily after having fibroid issues.
And can these, are they herbs? Can they be bought in as supplements?
Yes, tablet form.
Could you repeat the names again, please?
Kanchanar Gugul, Triphala Gugul, Amrit Prabha, The
Mhm.
name is given in the previous slide. And
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
yeah, they can even contact me. I can let you know how to get them.
Thank you. We very much appreciate